Yeah, that's it.
So that's a bloodwood tree, Richard, is it? Behind you
It
there?
is, yeah.
Yeah.
Bloodwood.
Yeah, I hadn't seen them before, but are they all around this area?
No, you see in patches coming along,
Yep.
but all of a sudden we come onto this patch here, probably, I don't know, 5 kilometres square,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of limestone here. I don't know what's as well is, must be 40 something, 39 as well.
30, I think.
30.
I think it's 30.
Yeah. So just shallow water table. But there's a lot of this.
Yeah,
And you can hear all the birds, you know.
Yeah,
They love this area. Yeah.
And the other night we're talking, you know, you mentioned about the stars and, you know, the earth. And with your sort of religion, if you could call it that, you feel that's all watching over you. And I never saw it like that before, but I really felt like that concept, you know, like the stars, the trees, the earth is watching over you, and that's why you do good. Like as a Christian feels God's watching them and they have to be good, but you feel the earth is
one God, yeah.
You feel the earth is watching you, and that's they're watching you. Everything's watching you all the time.
We're part of the universe, you know. Yeah. So it's we're created by nature, and we're part of the universe, and everything revolves around that, you know. Yeah, we're just one.
Yeah.
So that's all our spiritualities and beliefs is with Mother Earth and everything else that's created.
Yeah, it's interesting because you know we talked also about punishments and you know why do people do good, but to have to walk through the bush and feel like everything is sort of observing you, and it sort of makes you want to be a good person if you see it that way, because you have to be responsible because all the bush and the trees are sort of watching you and you're acting on their behalf, you know. So I think it's a really nice concept, you know.
It is that, and a whole natural thing is pushing you and everyone else towards that, you know. Be more with nature, care about nature. It's beautiful, it's paradise for all the birds that we hear. You know, they're in harmony. And we're all sharing this space out in the wilderness with him, and we're going to share it in a way to have that respect and look after it.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're sort of stuck, you know, if you're in the city and you know it's a bit of a concrete jungle, I mean, you can see the sunrise a bit, but you don't really, you just definitely don't get the aspect of how beautiful the earth is unless you out here, you know, watching the sun up and you know experiencing and sitting with part of it. You really have to. I mean, we are part of the earth, but a lot of people don't live part of the earth, do they? Because they're in cities. So it's really important to get out here, isn't it?
That's right. They isolate themselves away from nature, and that's how the system is developed. For you to work pretty well for 5-7 days a week, you know, and just not have that free time to spend, take your kids out bush, take your kids camping, spend with the family and enjoy it, you know. We seem to create this concrete jungle, which is just a short term, you know. It dissolves, it breaks down, and you've got to continue to keep fixing it.
Yeah.
Where nature has its own way, it just keeps evolving, you know, and she fixes everything, you know.
Yeah.
And all we got to do is just maintain and care.
Yeah. There's a comment went up today, or last night I saw that someone said they've learnt more in a couple of your 30-minute talks than they did in 5 years of high school. That's I think a lot of people could relate to that. You know?
Yes, that's it. And that's why I always sort of say, like, my upbringing since I was, I left my family and Hall's family took me over was, okay, you've got to learn this new way, you know, which is English, reading and writing and arithmetic, doing math. There's your life skills, you know.
Yeah.
Then you build on that.
Yeah. And we also mentioned, like, you know, I said, well, I suppose I'm Australian because that's just, you know, that's me. And but Darren would always identify as Thai. You know, she's not going to be an Australian. She's always a Thai person. How do you feel you identify, you know, like as an Indigenous man or as an Australian man, or how do you feel about that?
Look, I don't sort of class myself any different from anyone else, and like I said, I'm just a being, just an energy, just part of nature and earth.
Yeah.
And but yet, like your wife, she's Thai, but their beliefs is like ours, that we've got to care for our elderly, and we make sure that the spirits are released back into earth and back into nature. So, and their culture is pretty well the same. So it's global, but people don't see that there's a connections, links.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The closer that communities live to the land, the closer they end up to your similar beliefs, you know, because Darren's, all her uncles are all farmers, and, you know, in the car she's been talking about how similar, you know, so many things are. You know, she really feels a connection because that's all the stories that you're telling, you know, is stories that her grandfather's told in about how they're connected with the earth, and it's amazing, and that's just sort of developed over, you know, thousands of years to be sustainable, really. Real sustainability, isn't it?
Sustainable, you know, because the way we're going as humans in the Western society is that, you know, we're polluting the ocean. You look at the mess, the rubbish, and look at the mess and rubbish that we're piling up, you know. We just seem to create all these things, and we don't know what to do with them, you know. But if you can work with a lot of the indigenous ways and ideas and cultures, and you can work towards blending all that back into a usable material, which is can be part of nature.
It's about respect, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
that bag that I gave you, the Respect to Bush bag. You know, it's written respect for a reason, because respect's one of the big words that we've lost and we're lacking. You know, and respect for the bush and respect for others, and you know, it's nice to this trip. You know, I've been a lot of trips, but you know, Cape York and Simpson, there's toilet paper everywhere, eh?
Yeah.
But on this trip, I haven't seen a single piece of rubbish.
No, it's fantastic, eh? You know.
Have you seen any rubbish on the side of the road?
No.
At a camp?
No.
I haven't seen one piece.
No, it's that, you know, people they take their own rubbish with them. They burn any toiletries, anything like that, and you can dig a hole, but then you've got the dingoes that'll dig it up again. So you're better off just lighting the piece of paper, burning it, then covering whatever mess you leave. You know. Yeah.
No, it's been really good, and all right, mate. Well, it's getting a bit noisy, and the camps are all packing up, so we might leave it there this morning. We can have a bit more chat later on if we get a chance.
Yeah, no, let's do that. You know, because we've got our neighbours there, which is looking great. Great to see them. And
a bit more some new friends in camp last night, didn't we? The chat to you was good.
Definitely. It's good, you know. Yeah. Yep.
Morning, boys.
Morning.
How beautiful is that, eh?
Stunning morning.
Hey, mate. Hey, you borrowed your firewood, Adam?
Yeah, I heard you snuffling around the scrub this morning, mate.
Yeah, we're just borrowing it, that's all.
That's all. You can put it back for us before you go.
Thanks, mate.
Talking to those guys, you go, yep, those are the type of blokes that just give it a go.
So, Sunday morning. Heading out of Camp 30. And great night. We had the boys rock up, and I hadn't recognised them, but those two fellas, if you get on the canning page,
Canning Stock Group page, there's a well up ahead. We'll see 3-4 days, well 46, and it's totally flooded. Anyway, the boys rocked up on dusk and had a look at this other. They try and drive through it, and they nearly got through it, but it was a bit dark, and they went off the truck and sunk. So they both sitting there, you know, in half a metre of water. They camped there the night, like literally in a flooded area, and they didn't know what to do. And anyway, another guy come along with a patrol, really experienced bloke, and spent 6 hours pulling them out. And yeah, he posted. He apparently got Starlink as well, so he posted on the Canning Stock Group Facebook page of these boys. And then Brendan had seen it, and anyway, they rocked up yesterday afternoon. So yeah, there was not many spots to camp along here, and we sort of picked a good spot. So we said, yeah, of course, come and join us. You know, had a good time, and yeah, I thought the Kiwi boys had a lot of beer with 9 cartons, but those fellas had 9 cartons each. So that's a good effort. Anyway, so I bought a carton of beer off them, because I bought 2 cartons, 2.5 maybe, 2. A few in the fridge and 2 full cartons, and I've got enough to get to end of the trip. But then, yeah, like they're saying, it's a dry camp at Halls Creek, and you can't get any beer at Pinnerorgy, and so we've got to be able to get through the Kimberleys and to Broome as well, you know. So yeah, and also Adam, he broke his CV trying to get out, so he's yeah, he's a bit hamstrung there. So I lent him a 20 metre, or gave him a 20 metre snatch rope. He might need to tow up a couple of hills, and they've only got a snatch rope, so that'll give him that length you need to get on top. Because with the sand hills, you can't tow from. You've got to be on the top, heading down, you know. And if you don't have an extension, you sometimes can't get that length. Anyway, so yeah, we swapped. Well, what they wanted also was electric blankets, so we won't get them this trip, but I said I'll swap you a carton of beer for 2 electric blankets and a couple of the fridge pockets. I really like those fridge pockets on our fridge. So what's that? $120. The fridge pocket's 150 each, so it's 300 plus 120, so $420. Plus they gave me a winch extension, which is $100. So $500 for a carton of beer, and I reckon that's a pretty good deal. Actually, I got half Corona and half of that the better beer. So yeah, a bit of bartering going on, and yeah, met the boys, Storm and his crew with his tourists. Yeah, 16 days across, and 5 of those big Mercedes G-Wagons, and they come over, had a couple of beers, and yeah, nice people, eh? It's good to have a bit of a few extra people around camp. Had a good old chat, and had a bit of fun, and Kiwi boys stayed up and they burn all Richard's wood, because we didn't have much wood this morning. I didn't realise, I went to sleep 8:30, and they stayed up a bit later. I didn't hear them though, which is good. Anyway, so back on the road, and we're going to hit Pinnerorgy about lunchtime, or even this morning. It's only an hour or 2 hours away. And we're having a bit of trouble with Starlink's working brilliantly, but twice at lunchtime. We've sort of been stopping at Smoko, turning it on, just check the comments and make sure everything's okay, and then turn it off. Turn it on at lunchtime. For the last 2 days in a row, turned it on at lunch and no power. So it's not a Starlink issue, it's a power supply issue. And I think I know what it is. There's a switch there, that inner drive switch, you know, setup we've got. It's a great setup. It's brilliant because it uses all the height. You know, it's all up top. But the switch panel itself, there's not a lot of room, and we've got a bit, you know, a fair bit crammed in there. So I think when Kaito put the front panel back on the other day, the rear lights weren't working, and it was just things are pushing on each other, you know, and I think that's what's happened. So anyway, hopefully, but then so twice at lunchtime, no power, and like shit, we're gonna have to pull the whole thing apart, and then stop it at night, and it's turned on, you know. So it's an intermittent problem, but whatever it's turning on, I'm not going to touch it, you know. And but yeah, if you ever, I think I mentioned yesterday, if you don't hear from us for a few days, that's that's what it is, you know. We've got a Starlink problem with the power, but we think we could. Brennan's a cluey bloke, and I've got electrical gear, so we think we could probably fix it. But anyway, video last night went up. Jake had a little bit of problem loading it. Honestly, we could load these videos better here in the desert, and even what Jake's got, we got a better system here than what he's got over in northern Czech Republic, you know. But you know, we can't do that here. It's sleeping, you know, and everything. So yeah, we didn't have much chat to Richard this morning. It was just too much going on, and doors banging and closing, and people getting up. So yeah, didn't get that much of a chance, but we'll catch up again. Anyway, yeah, thanks for everyone following along, and leaving heaps of good comments. Richard's loving the comments, and yeah, really appreciate your own stories, sharing them with us, and yeah, it's been great, you know. We've been reading them all and learning about what you guys are up to, and hearing stories from all over the world. It's been really good. Anyway, on we go, and it must be day 12 or something. Yeah, going really good. Might get Darren to tell a few stories too. It sounds like people enjoyed listening with Darren's perspective. One thing I was going to ask you, Darren, about clothes. We didn't say about clothes. Like, how many times have you washed clothes and stuff?
This trip I didn't wash anything yet.
Yeah, can't really. Well, that's one thing. You can't wash any clothes. My shirt's filthy. This is my second shirt. But a bit of worried you got a bit of time. We can get a bucket out and wash a few clothes. But yeah, you can't put a fresh outfit on every day. That's for sure, you know.
Yeah. I just realized my clothes setup, even big or small trip, I always carry just one weekender bag and one of the mesh bag.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Same everywhere. Even to Thailand, the same setup.
Yeah, you don't need much gear. Alright, well that might do it, and we'll think of a few stories to tell. Where I was up to last on the cattle station, I think. Alright. Yes, well, it's sort of slow and a bit quiet. We'll tell a bit of story. Yeah, man, one time I was on the station, and I was with Dutchie, and I was driving this, because I have a truck licence, I was driving this big old flatbed truck. I had some really old trucks on the station, and big old flatbed had to go out to the farm, out to the outstation to pick up some hay, and anyway, it didn't have any brakes, and there was something wrong with the starter motor as well. It needed to be tow started, so it was a pretty beat up old truck. Anyway, I come around on this station track, much like it is here, and
Go down this way, Luke.
say again, over.
Did you go left down the clearing?
Yeah. You'll see the track goes around to the left. Follow. You'll see a 44-gallon drum, and if you turn right there, that goes to the well, and if you turn left, it goes down to the track I'm on here. Yeah, so left of the 44. Yeah, anyway, we come around the corner, and there's a bloody fence that's normally open, or a gate, and it was closed, and the truck's had no brakes, so we sort of ploughed into it and smashed the gate open. Just broke the chain, and it was anyway. And then, but then I sort of stalled it after that, you know, panicked a bit and stalled it. So now I've got a broken gate and the truck stalled. So we ended up must have got on the radio or something, and one of the boys come along with a Land Cruiser, and we needed to give us a tow. But yeah, there was the gear knob was so polished that there was no gears on it at all. You know, there was nothing marked, you know, and I'd only driven it that morning, anyway, we're go to do a tow start and hook up the rope, and then I put it in what I thought was sort of second gear, and gave it a tow, and then once I let the clutch out, the back of the truck started jumping and bouncing. It's like, shit, what's going on here, and anyway, so I told him to pull up, then I just didn't know what it was, so we did it again, and took off, and I mean, not doing fast, but 20k, doing a tow start and let the clutch out, and next thing again it started jumping, and the back of the truck was very light, jumping around, and then all this smoke started coming into the cab. Like, shit. And anyway, we worked out what I was doing. I was in reverse, and instead of selecting second, I'd picked up reverse. So I was trying to tow start the poor old truck in reverse. Anyway, it wouldn't have been real good for it. But yeah, and then another time I was with Evan, the station owner, Evan Acton, and we're heading into the Julie Creek Rodeo, and he had the old diesel burner they call it, the big semi-trailer. It was a mad looking truck. The whole front cowling of the engine was gone, so you could just, all you could see was the engine, everything there, and they used to call it the diesel burner. And we were taking this thing into taking all the gates, all the portable yards in for the rodeo. And remember, I didn't load the truck, but it was the semi-trailer was piled high with portable gates, big steel heavy gates, and I can imagine that like I've done the same, been in the same situation myself many times. And anyway, so Evan's the driver, he's the boss, and we got halfway to Julie Creek, and the load, I don't know who loaded it, some of the boys, it wasn't tied down properly, and it all shifted, and the gates all sort of half fell over, and Evan was spewing, and he had to get out, and we had to retie it, try to push it all back on, and retie it all, and he had to undo all the straps, so these big truck ratchet straps, and he said, here, do these up, and I said, I don't know how to work those things, I didn't know how to use a ratchet strap, and he was like, looked at me like I was an idiot, like fair income, he was even more pissed off that I didn't know how to. Anyway, so he showed me reluctantly, and anyway, so then we got it all done, but I imagine how frustrating it would have been, and it's like I said, it's happened to me many times when I was taking a load, and I've got boys to tie it on, and it's not tied on properly, because those sort of things has to be done spot on, like exactly right. There's only one way to do it, and like Richard says, he grew up learning how to do things right. He was taught by tough, hard men, how to up his game and how to do things properly, and that's so true with so many things in life, everything in life, tying up a ratchet strap is really only one way to do it properly, and if you don't do it properly, your load's going to come undone. Anyway, we had a great rodeo, and I got on, by that time I knew how to sit on a steer anyway, so we did the steer ride, and had a great time there. I remember there was Dutchie, and there's 5 of us all up, and we were at the rodeo grounds and just out in a bit of a paddock, all in our swags. We put our swags in a bit of a star shape, and all just our heads in the middle sort of thing, and just chatted, and we were just 5 of us just chatting away half the night, looking up at the stars, and we're all young fellas, and I remember it's been a really cool sort of thing, just lying there, a bunch of young fellas looking at the stars, chatting. And anyway, not long after that, I was going to head back to Cairns, so we decided that Dutchie and the cook, Ian, the Pommy chef, we'd on my way to Cairns, we'd go through is it Columbaroo, Normanton, and then Columbaroo up in the Gulf, and just have a bit of a look around. So they borrowed a car. Dutchie didn't have a car, and they come with us, So we got to Columbaroo, and we thought we'd just 3 of us, and we thought we'd hire a little tinny and go and have a fish or something. So anyway, we hired a tinny, and then one of those little till steer ones, and I was having a drive, and then anyway, Ian wanted to have a drive of this tinny, Okay, just wait at the top, Glenn, can you?
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've been in second this whole, pretty much, second, third this whole time, in high range, so you hear me revving up in there, just trying to get the revs up to get it into first. It's always hard to get in first gear and when you're moving on a cruiser, but yeah, so that's what I'm just doing, trying to get the revs up, whack her into first, just get that bit of power. I've pretty much been sitting in second and third the whole trip, and most of the sand deals start in second and hit a bit of third, if you hit a bit of first if you need it, but really haven't touched low range much. And anyway, so we got on this little tinny and we're going up little estuaries, like full on croc country. We're up in these tiny little estuaries and all the mangroves overhanging. It was much like what you see here, except the mangroves, but it was a little creek, little muddy creek, and we're seeing, the croc slides where the crocs have been sliding in the water, and I mean, there's crocs everywhere up there. Anyway, Ian, remember, he got a bit excited with his little tinny and he's burning along and, winding our way through this estuary. And anyway, with the tiller steer, you can get confused sometimes, and, because it's opposite steer, you push that way and you go this way. And let's know if you're having trouble, Glenn. Anyway, so we're flying along and he's going a bit too fast, weaving his way through. And anyway, he got confused and he went the wrong way, pulled this way and he hit the bank and we tipped over. Well, the tinny sort of hit the bank and tipped up vertical, like that, like vertical. We all fell in the water. And then, it was the scariest thing I've ever had in my life, and all three blokes were just, the boat didn't tip, luckily. It sort of tipped us out, then it flipped back over and we were dumped in the creek and we were just scrambling into the boat as fast as we could. It was just like, and then the boat was full of water, like full to the rim of water, and we're standing there and all wet and looking like idiots and scared the hell out of us. And anyway, we're starting bailing water out with our hats, or my hat, and whatever we could find, bailing the water out, and luckily we got it going again, and so that was a funny moment. And anyway, then after that, we weren't there long, camped the night, and then I headed across, I think it's through Georgetown, is it? The development road or something, and into Cairns. And yeah, so I wanted to get a job there for a while, and went looking for work. And so at the time they were building the Cairns casino, and so I sort of I heard there was work going there. So what we did is what I did was rocked up the casino every morning, 6 o'clock, and there was the boss there. Well, they were laying all the blocks, so at the time there was a contractor doing all the block work, and there was, I think, 3 or 4 stories underground and then 5 or 6 above ground, and all concrete block. Back then that's how they did it. These days you do more tilt-ups, concrete tilt-ups, but it was all block work, and a lot of block layers, brickies, and they needed labourers, so every morning the foreman would come down and he would pick whatever labourers he needed, just for mostly sweeping up, cleaning up and stuff like that. Anyway, so I'd line up, and back then there was a heap of backpackers around, there was these big, strong, I remember European boys, there was these Danish boys, and and they had work boots on and shirt, looked like labourers, and I was there with my cowboy hat and jeans and boots and looked like a cowboy, and silly, I should have. Anyway, so I lined up every morning and I never got put on for a while. And then, I just used to, go back home again, and I was walking back home, I had a little place there, lived for a little while, and bunking in with someone, and anyway, so I was walking back home and I walked past this shop, and it was a leather shop, and I, just loved leather work and wasn't really into it at all, but I just try to remember his name, but he had this leather shop, and big tall old guy with sort of white bushy beard, and he had this beautiful leather shop in Cairns on one of the main streets there, and I wanted to sort of plait a belt, you know, and he had these books, you know, teaching you how to plait a belt. So I bought one, and it turned out that was the guy who wrote the books, you know, and I bought a little bit of lace, and anyway, so I went home and, you know, nothing to do, so I plaited a belt, and then, you know, wore it, and then next day tried to get on as a, you know, labourer, didn't get on, and then I'd come home and I'd buy a bit more leather, and I'd show this bloke the belt, and he first time he looked at it, he said, that's no good, mate, and he pulled it all apart. I was like, what the hell, you know? Spent all day making that. Anyway, he showed me what to do, and he showed me how to, you know, he could see that I was really keen, so he took some time to show me, and he said, look, what you need to do to do it properly, you need the grease, you know, and he gave me a little bit of grease. And what it was a mixture of soap and lard, you know, like fat, which is lard. You buy it from the butcher, and you got to boil that up together in a little billy, soap, a cake of soap, and a little block of lard, like a block of butter, you know. Boil it up in a billy, and then let it settle, and then that's this cream you use for plaiting belts. It's really important to have that soap and lard, you know. Anyway, so he gave me a little bit, told me how to do it, and then so I went home, and that made a huge difference, because it's just slippery, and the leather belts, the plait belt, you got to get it really tight, you know, and a dry leather you can't get it tight. Anyway, so he showed me how to do that, and then this sort of went on. It was probably 3, 4, 5 days. I never got on, and, you know, I just plait belts and muck around, and yeah, some people might remember this guy. He wrote all these bushcraft books, and I'll definitely think of his name shortly. I bought all his books, and anyway, so this went on for a while, and he kept teaching me how to make these belts, and you know, I loved it. I made these beautiful belts, and taught by one of probably the best leather belt experts, you know, anywhere, you know, and real bushman, you know, Ron Edwards. There he is. That's his name, Ron Edwards. So look up Ron Edwards. He's died now. I used to live in Coranda. He shifted the shop after I was there from Cairns to Coranda, I heard, and but he wrote a lot of books. You can still buy them: bushcraft, leather work, how to plait a belt, many things, you know. And fascinating guy. So I got sort of, I was taught by Ron Edwards. He was a real bushman. And anyway, back to the, you know, the casino, and finally, you know, the stockman could see that I was persistent, you know, and turned up every day. So he finally, I think the big Dutch boys or the Danish boys, they didn't turn up one day, and I got a start, you know, and I was so keen, you know. But I've been used to working, well, one from the army, and then 2 massive days on the station, and I didn't like to be idle, you know, at all. And anyway, so I was so keen. I wanted to impress him, you know, and work hard. He sent me up to the top floor of right at the very top floor, and told me I had to get a broom and work with a couple of other labourers, and just basically just had to sweep. It was all a big mess, concrete, the mud they call it, which is the mortar. You know, that was everywhere, and a lot of mess, broken bricks and stuff. So I had to clean it all up. And I was in there just mad keen, just sweeping like a madman, you know, trying to get this done quick as I could, because I wanted to get on the next day. And there was a couple of union boys up there as well. They were permanents, you know, and they were getting the shits with me, and I couldn't figure it out. And they're like, "Slow down, mate, slow down." And I'm like, "No, mate, I want to get this done. I want to get this done real quick, you know," because I wanted to impress the boss. And but they get the shits a bit, and then finally they kind of said, "Look, mate, we've got all day to do this, and if you finish it by smoko, you know, we'll have nothing to do," sort of thing. So, you know, that was, I realised then that's how it works, you know. And on a lot of job sites, you know, they don't like you working too hard, you know. Anyway, so it wasn't long after that they needed a brickies labourer, and I'd never done any brickies labour before, but he was the perfect job for me, because a brickies labourer is a bloke. It's almost like rouseabout or shearing, you know. A rouseabout shearing is incredibly busy, you know. You haven't got a second to wipe your nose, you know. Anyway, brickies labour is the same. You've got to look after all these block layers, and they're all getting paid, you know, contract per block, you know. So, you've got to have them served up, all the mud perfectly, exactly where they want it, all the bricks laid out, and you might be looking after 3 or 4 brickies, you know, and if you haven't got it done right, if the mud's not right, you know, they'd get so pissed off because it's their money, you know, they're working hard, they're hard workers, you know. So yeah, no, I really just loved that job, and I thought I, you know, learned how to mix the mud just right, and had a bloke there showing me, and in the early, you know, the first few days, I remember taking a big load of mud up to a guy, an old brickie, and he said, I shoveled it all on his board for him, and he said, have you got a ladle? I said, what? He said, have you got a ladle? I said, no, I haven't got a ladle. He says, well, if you're going to bring me effing soup, we'll bring a ladle as well, you know, because he was whinging that the mud was too soft and wet, you know, and wasn't thick enough. So you're calling it soup, you know. Anyway, so I had to get rid of it and go and get him some more, you know. And but yeah, we were just like literally running around with the wheelbarrows, and also they'd knock off in the afternoon, and we'd have to work late, trying to setting them up for, you know, for the next day, so they're ready to go in the morning. And yeah, so I did that for a few months really, and I might just leave it there. It's getting a bit rough here, and there's going to be some corrugations up ahead, and getting a bit hard to hear, so we'll leave it there for the moment and continue the story a bit later on. Just going past well 32, boys, sort of round, veer off to the right, just sort of go straight, veer to the right. Yeah, so not far from Kunawarrigi, probably 20 k's. Pretty bad corrugations along here, but cruise is sitting pretty nice. Glenn's had a bit of trouble with the disco, just doesn't like the corrugation, you know. So I mean it's rough, but I'm doing about 50, and he's doing about 15, you know. So he's going to be on this 3 times longer. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's well, this truck's set up really nice. The suspension on it is definitely a great setup. And but Richard's the same. He's hooting along doing about 40, 50. And yeah, not sure what it is with the disco, but yeah, it definitely does not like corrugation. And the boys have to go quite slow. But yeah, we've got just a little bit over a quarter of a tank, so there you go. We had 180 litres in the tank, 3 jerrys, that's 60, 240 litres, and I've got a quarter of a tank left, quarter of 180, what's that, 45, so you know, I've got 2 jerrys spared really in the tank, so technically I could have made this with me full tank of 180 litres and 1 jerry can. Would have just rolled into Kunawarrigi. I have my 2 extra ones, so 3 jerrys was about right. We've got 1 10 litre of fresh water left. We just opened up a 10 litre bladder of water, so that's we've got that spare, and plenty of food still, you know. So yeah, I think that's been pretty good. With the tyres, and if there was, you know, I always thought you need 2 tyres for the strip, and you sort of do in a way, but if I had it again, I'd be comfortable to run just the 1 spare, as long as I had tyre pressure monitors, because I think your biggest risk out here is, I mean, your tyres are half flat anyway, because you let them down, and it is hard to tell if you got a flat tyre. If you run your tyre flat, so you got a puncture and you're running it and it's flat, it'll just, exactly what happened to the boys, you know, it'll heat up and it'll destroy the tyre, and you probably only need 5 kilometres and you can destroy a tyre pretty easy, you know. So if you only had 1 spare and you ran it flat, then you'll destroy it, and then you got no spares. But if you had tyre pressure monitors, and I haven't got them, I've tried them in the past and they've been a real pain in the arse, but I should try a different brand. and see if I can get something that are good. Boys, we met 3 guys in 200 series Land Cruisers, and they all had a tyre pressure monitor called Axial, AXIAL, and they said they were brilliant. So we might try and have a look at those. And being 3 vehicles, same 3 200 series, they all only just had 1 spare, so that's 50 kilos they don't need to carry. The spare tire's about 50 kilos, so if I had another Land Cruiser on this trip, I'd only probably carry 1 spare. But your patch kit's the big thing, you know. If you get a puncher, you know, 80% of the time, 90% of the time, it's going to be just a plug. You can fix it with a plug. You don't even need to take your tyre off if you can find it. The one time there, we just put some soapy water on the tyre, we found the hole, and we just plugged it. We still put the jack underneath so it didn't sit down the rim. But yeah, the plugs are great. And if I had another truck on the trip with me, 76, a Land Cruiser, and I had tyre pressure monitors, I'd be probably happy to do this trip with only the 1 spare. And you know, the spare's a lot of weight and it's a lot of space, so there's a couple of tips, you know. And I think the other thing too is, you know, I think we mentioned it before, one of the main things is with your truck is putting things back exactly where they should go each time, like having an exact place for everything. There's nothing worse than not having a set place. That's why the bags are so good, you know, and everything on my truck has got an exact place. So if I need this or need that, it goes back to where it went before. If you're sort of just chucking stuff in anywhere, you know, you can't find stuff, and it makes it so hard and frustrating, you know. So that's a really good tip, to try to make sure you've got everything in its place, and you know exactly, everyone in the car, like Gary, knows where all the stuff goes, and you got to put it back exactly in its place, because then you know where to find it again, you know. Even, you know, my beanie, you know, I put my beanie in a certain place in my bag. It's not just chucked in a bag, because in the morning I'm in a hurry, I want to get up, get a coffee, talk to Richard, and it's dark. I don't want to be, well, where's my beanie? Running around trying to find a beanie for 5 minutes, you know, you get frustrated. Whereas my beanie's in a little particular spot at the front of my bag, and I can just grab it without even looking. So it's a good example, you know, you want things in an exact spot every time. If you want to try and find your cup, it's in the exact same spot every time. Yeah, so with the corrugations too, if you can, you know, a lot of time, if it's sandy, you want to try and drive on the outside. You can't really do it on this hard packed ground, but if it's sandy, which it has been for a long time, I mean, at the end of the day, you want to try and drive off the corrugation as far as you can, and just get into, you know, off to the side, get a bit of fresh dirt if you can, and you can't always, but you can drive on the side a little bit. It does make a big difference. See, I'm riding right on the outside here, you know, and otherwise just getting your tyres just right so it's you know, running fairly smooth. Alright, just a couple of little things there, and we're going to pull up shortly, have our 9:30 brew, and we'll make Richard a coffee. He likes having a cappuccino with us at 9:30, so we make him one of those, and then we'll wait for the boys to catch up. Alright. Right, so yeah, we're heading into Kununurrigi. You just had this big crossroads back there. It's a pretty cool place. 1,000 k's to Alice Springs, 1,000 k's to Wiluna, 1,000 k's to Halls Creek, or 750 k's to Port Hedland. So literally, I don't know, is that one of the most isolated crossroads around, certainly in Australia. And yeah, so there used to be a fuel drop. You used to have to get 44-gallon drums dropped back there, and you know, you buy them beforehand and have your name on them, and you don't have to do that anymore. You can get fuel from Kununurrigi, so that's pretty handy. And yeah, apparently it's closed today, but the boys from the safari reckon they know the guys, and we might be able to be lucky and get some. But you can see this here on the map. Alice Springs here, you've got Hedland over here, you've got, we're right in the middle, Luna and Halls Creek, and Wiluna down here. So there's where we are right there, literally right in the middle of nowhere. And knows? Will we get a shower and a hamburger? I'm not sure, but we'll see. We might have to wait around and get fuel tomorrow, but yeah, anyway, so what else? It's before lunch, and yeah, the guys from the tour are going to be rocking up, you know, soon, maybe another hour or so. And what we want to do now is, you know, ideally is, yeah, we'll try and grab a shower, get some water, fuel up, and then we're going to start heading up to Billy Luna, which is here, and then Halls Creek is up here. So yeah, 1,000 k's from Halls Creek, so we're literally halfway on our trip, but we've done pretty well, you know. That's the, you know, we got to the start and now we've got to halfway, so, and so far we're going pretty good. Yeah, so look at that, it's open, and
Up the baby.
filling up cherries. One in there, second one there, one on the front. How good that, mate? Happy days. And diesel will track. We got, what have we got? 68 kilometres left on the trip computer. Is that all you got? We haven't touched it. And you got Jerry's full. We've still got 3 Jerry's full. Yeah. Righto, so here at Kunawaragi, got water. Showers over there. Beautiful hot showers. And I filled up the bladder on this side. Fill up the bladder on this side, and that'll see us through to Halls Creek. This is the way I carry a hose. And I just take the end off and turn it on and blow it in. You don't need a breather. These are so good, these bladders. You don't need a breather because it sucks down. It collapses as it deflates, you know, and just comes back up again. So you don't need to crack it open or anything, you know, as long as there's no air in there. Yeah. Oh, can I say that looks better or not?
Yeah, you should say that.
Really? That's good. Wash your
Very
hair?
happy day.
Yeah?
Yes.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Richard looks clean, doesn't he?
Everyone looks clean.
Yep. Yeah, so just put in well 33 and nice little spot there, but windy and a few people around. We're going to keep going. It's only early yet, so Richard wants to cook a roast corned beef tonight, so that'll be pretty cool. Yeah, so she's back to a heavy rig again. Doesn't feel like it did an hour ago. But yeah, we put in 170 litres total, and that's included 3 jerry cans. So for 1,000 kilometres on the track, I used 170 litres, and so work that out. 170 litres, 1,000 kilometres. Well, that's 17 litres per 100, I suppose.
Brothers, when Joe said to Adam, "So good, mate, come around me."
Yeah, what about, oh, I'm bogged, mate, so maybe you just walk it or something.
Yeah, I bet you that would have been a conversation. What happened there? Imagine that, Luke. Well, you wouldn't have done it. Come around, Luke, it's all good.
Oh, no. We've got a camel on the track in front of us. Oh, and look. Right, so we've got this little spot. Wind. Got a good old tree stump there. How you going, Darren?
Washing up.
Feel nice and clean?
Yes.
Starlink's not working. Oh, wait up. It's working now. Kidding. A minute ago it wasn't working. Alright, that's good. Starlink's on.
Just like that, eh?
Yep. firewood done.
How's your little camp spot, bro? Out of the wind.
Beautiful here, isn't it? And I think no one's ever camped here, ever.
Yeah,
No.
I don't think so. Brendan's got a nice level little spot.
Yeah.
Well, he's just getting out his spirit level and making sure it's perfect. Good to see.
Otherwise all the blood will bring to the wrong end.
What are you doing, Richard? You're cooking dinner, eh?
I just put that corned beef on, so if someone want to
You're looking all clean, mate.
stink, I know.
Look like you're ready to go to the dances.
Oh, look, that's 100,000 Ks, that's it. Yeah.
And what have you got in here?
Just corned beef, that's set aside, you know.
Oh, yeah?
Probably take an hour and a half, 2 hours, but
Yep.
yeah, we'll just.
Nice. And Downey reckons she's going to make a pumpkin rice pudding.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So that'll be good.
Nice, yeah.
That shower was good, wasn't it?
Oh, bloody oath. Yeah,
Real good.
it's really good. Basic, but nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
And we've got desert oak firewood tonight, mate. So desert oak firewood, plenty of it.
yes, yes.
So that's good.
That's it.
And we just that was down the track, 100 metres. We just dragged it down here, put a rope around it, chopped the ends off. Beautiful timber. Yeah, just chop the ends off, drag it down. We'll see how much we get through. Probably only need half that. Anyway, Downsy reckons he's cooking roast beef, no, corned beef. And the boys got a night off. And that's it. So what are you doing, Darren?
Well, we're gonna have dessert tonight. I'm making pumpkin coconut milk.
Yeah.
Yes.
You like cooking?
Yeah. I suppose. I can cook if we need to.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, you're a good cook.
Yeah.
How you liking the canning? You going to do it again?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
After a while.
After a while.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
And you mostly cook Thai, don't you?
Yeah.
How many times have you cooked me mashed potatoes?
I can count that.
Maybe 2.
Every your birthday dinner.
Yeah. My mum used to make me mashed potatoes every night. I get it from my. That's all right. I'm not complaining. That's for sure. Feel better after the shower?
So much better.
Yeah.
Mm.
How often do you need to wash your hair? Ideally.
Normally
Yeah.
every 2 days.
Yeah. So here's for once a week.
Yeah.
I can hear Glenn doing some more Land Rover maintenance.
What I was just doing is cleaning the table.
But is there a sensor, is there, for the kitchen table?
Well,
There must be.
I thought I'd give it a clean in case you want to eat off it.
There must be a sensor. All right. So how do you cook pumpkin rice?
Pumpkin coconut.
Yeah, how do you do that?
Just slice it like this and boil it with coconut milk
Yeah.
and palm sugar,
Oh yeah.
a little bit salt.
It's very nice, I can tell you.
Mm-hmm. This
Yeah.
will be nice in the bush like this.
Yeah.
Easy for bush dessert.
And pumpkin's pretty good to carry, isn't it? Because it keeps, and you know, it's good fresh food, isn't it?
Mm.
Right, we'll check back on you in a little bit, eh?
Yep.
See how progress is going.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we're a bit in the sun here, but look at Lord Kiwi over here.
What a spot, eh?
You love that awning. So easy and quick, eh? One pole. How many ropes you got tying it down at the moment?
0 ropes. No ropes required, actually.
Well, we found this little spot out of the wind, didn't we?
Yes, and it's really good. Just here.
Yeah, it's a good little setup, mate.
Yeah, that's good.
Oliver coaxes. He likes it, doesn't he? He's giving you plenty of encouragement.
Yes, go the disco.
He said
Go the
to me-
Landies.
Said to me, back off, Glenn. And the disco. No, he didn't.
Yeah, the 270 is awesome. I reckon it's the fastest, most easiest bit of shade you can get.
Yeah. Do you work for Stockton?
No.
You repping for him?
Yeah, I'm repping for them.
Are you sponsored by him?
Yes. No.
Maybe you should be. Well, it all depends on how many followers you got. How's Hogs Haven's account going?
Oh, I got one more.
Yeah?
Yeah.
To be able to be, sponsored,
Yeah. How many?
you got to have about 10,000 followers.
Oh, really?
Like, you got to actually have influence
Oh, I've got influence.
with with who?
Well,
That's
with,
what I
with
wondering.
my
With your
30,
missus.
with my 30 followers.
The thing is, you can't just be some fella going on a trip around Australia and got an Instagram account and wants to get a rooftop tent for free. Because I get asked that about 20 times a day.
A rooftop tent for free.
Yeah. And you know what I say to him? Shauno's the only one that got his tent for free.
Yes, because he must be over 10,000.
He's got 250 or something.
Oh, just over there.
Oh, But
Yes,
yeah, you've
beautiful
got to have
spot.
influence,
Beautiful spot here.
You have influence, Glenn,
I do.
over the whole world's Land Rover people are just kneeling on the ground praying that this truck makes it.
Through the canning.
I reckon. You think they are, or is that a stretch?
I think it's a stretch, but I think there's a few people looking out to see how it travels.
What do you think of airbag suspension? Are you a fan?
I'm a fan, but it doesn't like heavy corrugations.
Hmm.
So we had 20 kilometres of corrugations today.
Oh, more than that.
25,
20
50,
k's after lunch.
maybe 50 kilometres of heavy corrugations.
Yeah.
And no, it doesn't
And how long
like
did I wait for you for?
20 plus minutes.
Yeah. Twice. 40 minutes I waited for you.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I didn't mind.
We were idling along.
Yeah. Hmm. And how's the kids going? 3 little kids, 4 kids.
They're going good, actually.
Yeah, missing Dad.
Listen, Dad.
That's funny yesterday. What did they say? G'day, Dad. Where's Uncle Brendan?
That was funny.
Yeah.
Even for me.
No, they're doing good.
No, they're doing good.
So, how old are they?
2, 4 and 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, soon to be 2, 5 and 6 actually.
Very smart kids, aren't they?
They are clever. Yes.
You let the little boy drive the tractor yet?
All the time. He loves it.
He's 2, isn't he?
He's 2. He'll be driving when he's 3, I reckon.
Yeah. We'll get him along here soon, won't we?
Yeah, it'd
Won't be
be
long.
awesome.
You reckon Shan Shan will
Oh,
let him come?
100%.
Yeah?
She'd be pushing him out the door.
That's good.
Few flies here, isn't there?
And how's your company going without you? You must have them pretty well organised, mate. You've got a big responsibility, but
They're going well, I think.
I haven't heard too many midnight urgent calls from you.
No, everything's good.
Yeah?
Yep.
Must be well organised.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
much. What a spot here, eh?
Well, we can at least tick the box that we got to the start point, right? Now we can tick the box we've been to halfway.
Halfway. That's right.
So that's an achievement, isn't it?
Now we've got the hardest section to go.
Yeah.
Second half. 950 kilometres.
And if we get to well 46 at dusk,
So yeah, you tell me what you want from
and we've had half dozen beers,
Yeah, John and Adam said just go straight through.
they're trying to get
Hey,
us to
John.
go. They want us to go through, eh? Then they don't want to be the only ones. Actually, you know that guy with the 200 back there at, when the Patriot?
Oh, yeah.
He got stuck in there as well.
Oh, wow.
He was trying to get around it and he got stuck.
Oh, right.
He had to get towed out, big time,
Oh, no good.
apparently. So
That's what a trailer does, though, right? Just sucks you in.
we're going to walk through together,
Yep.
right through the middle,
Yep.
and then we're going to drive through it.
Right.
We're going to think about it.
Yeah, we'll go and have a look for sure. We're definitely going to have a look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want us to do it, eh? We should give it a go.
Yeah. If it's reasonable, we'll give it a go.
All right, so I'm going to go check on Uncle Richie.
There's a spin it there.
Brand spanking new.
Yeah.
Never been used.
Ooh.
It's a virgin pot.
Make sure he oils it up. Yeah, it's perfect, eh?
Mm.
Fancy that. What a good name for a pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got no sharp edges though, right? The handle's not going to stab me when I go to pick it up.
Yeah.
So I said, no, I'll bloody try it out, take it out.
What are you doing there, Richard?
I'll just make a bit of a damper, just a small one, you know.
Oh, yeah. Geez, is there anything you can't do?
Yeah.
Darren? There's damper. So how do you make damper? Like Uncle Richard style?
Basically, if you want is just flour water, you just knead it up and then round it off, put it in your camp oven, and you get your coals right.
Mm.
Or you can do a wet mix.
Okay.
That you'll get a little bit of olive oil and paper inside your pan and the top, and then just pour it in whole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that comes out nice, you know.
So you're doing just flour and water.
That's all. Yeah.
Just flour and water.
Yep.
And just knead it around.
That's it, buddy. Yep. Just knead it around. That because a lot of the drovers used to make that what they call a brownie,
Yeah.
where you throw sultanas and all that in, you know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was a treat, you know.
Yeah. You remember that?
That, yeah. Remember all that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, so just flour, water, then throw sultanas in, and that's a drover's brownie.
That's it, you know. Yeah.
Okay.
You can mix up a lot of other things too, like they made advantage of what do we call had the treacle that then now they call it golden syrup, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. They used to mix a little bit of that in, and yeah. There's a lot of things you can do, but just because you get used to all the not so much fast food, but
Convenience.
too lazy, I suppose. You know,
Yeah.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too lazy.
Well, we pulled up a bit early too, didn't we? It's like 3 o'clock we pulled up today.
Look, that's
So that's
ideal.
A little bit extra time for us to muck around.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's it.
Well, we're looking forward to that, Darren. In for a treat.
And Brandon will make a mashed potato for you tonight.
Oh, really? Gee. Right.
Yeah.
You drinking my beers?
My beer.
So what's the secrets for good campfire cooking, Richard? Like long handle shovel for a start?
Look, handy. Yeah. Because you can, you know, get a little bit of this. Is normal post hole shovel. I cut it back because someone tried to use it as a crowbar and snapped it here, so I put a bolt through it.
Oh, okay.
And
It's a good size though.
that's a good length, you know, because you don't want anything shorter, otherwise you'd fall in or burn yourself, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the trick is when you're putting coals for the camp oven to mix it with a bit of dirt so it's not so hot.
Depends what type of wood you got, you know.
Yeah.
Desert oak, gidgee, bloodwood. You definitely got to mix it so it cool down a bit more. You
Yeah,
know?
right.
Yeah, just too much heat.
I'd never heard that before, mixing it with dirt, but that makes sense, doesn't it?
It does, you know.
Yeah.
Then that's why, especially your cast iron ovens, they're pretty good because it's just a slow heat right through.
Yeah.
But the old tin can oven, then that's when you really had to sort of mix the right amount, you know.
Used to have a tin can oven.
Yeah, because it's metal and it's tin.
Yeah.
Used to burn really quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
And did the camp cooks always have cast iron, or did they have the tin?
They started off with tin, eh?
Yep.
Then later on they got a mixture, you know, but most of them prefer to use the old tin ones. Because that's what they sort of grew up with. And,
Yeah, right.
and it's like us with the phone, you know, I'll stick with something simple and
Yeah.
I'd be too scared to try the other one, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and
Stick with
because
what you
those
know.
guys, they got them, it's an art.
Mm.
They got it down to a T, you know, to the last 10 minutes, half hour. They know exactly when to pull it off.
And what sort of things do they cook? Like you're doing now, really?
Well, most of, a lot of them, pretty good, you know, from your curry and rice to, but your main feed was mainly corned beef and bread and veggies and that sort of thing, you know. And then, but they'd do stews. They'd make hot cross buns. Those guys
Oh yeah.
in a camp oven, you know.
Oh, that'd be good.
Oh, beautiful, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And think about cooking in the bush and in the fire. It's totally different. It's different flavour, you know. It's I mean, your tea or coffee tastes totally different to when you boil at home.
Yeah.
At home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good.
Probably a bit of ash in it and a bit of smoke in it.
Yeah.
It? But that's part of the taste, I suppose.
Well, it's like a good char grill steak, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, bit of flame, bit of smoke,
Yeah,
a little bit on the charry side.
yeah. Yeah.
That sort of seals the outside, and then inside it's still nice and juicy, you know,
Yeah.
flavours. Yeah.
Yeah. And how long will the damper take?
Well, it should be about half year, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
It's only a
how's
small one, so.
can I open that and have a look?
Yep. And
Oh yeah, look at that.
with your corned beef, see, best way to test it is a knife. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
still sticking.
Yep.
Yep. Give it another half hour. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
When you can poke it in and it slides out, then it's ready.
Yeah, okay. Good tip.
Yep. Yep.
All right. So that's it, eh? Bit on the bottom and bit on the top, Richard.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Well, you can cover the whole lot up, you know. But a bit on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's only cast though. It
Yeah.
should be nice. Yep.
Ah, what a great little kitchen we got here. Roast corned beef, damper,
Yep.
everything.
Away from that smoke.
Actually, I didn't get stuck. I got myself out.
Here's our little camp scene. Richard's having a break. He's got dinner on. Glenn's over there sitting in the smoke, trying to swat flies. Just keep your wave going, bro. Work on your wave. And Brendan, so you're a brother with Lord Kiwi,
Yes, Lord Kiwi's slightly older brother.
and but you flew in from Auckland, eh? Like you're a real Kiwi.
Absolutely, yeah. So home is in Auckland, out northwest, beautiful wine country, and
Like whereabouts from Auckland?
so I'm about 35 minutes northwest, out in a township called Waimalku, which is just past Kumeu, which is the kind of wine
Right.
capital of Auckland City.
Northwest
Northwest,
Auckland.
yeah, close to Murawai Beach.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a big part of your lives, the beach. You grew up on the beach.
We did. Yeah, that particular beach.
Hooning up and down the beach, by the sounds of it.
Well, I think we learnt to drive on the beach, which is
Yeah.
why we're quite comfortable in sand.
Yeah.
And one way or the other.
Did you drive like everything with two wheels on it up and down the beach, or what?
We did, two
Pretty
wheels, 3 wheels, 4 wheels,
Yeah.
and we've had a blast over the years.
And you've got a quad bike, like a standard farm quad bike, like 4 wheels.
Not anymore, no. In fact, we've never owned a quad ourselves,
But you had
but
one.
we've had lots of access to 3-wheelers,
Yeah, right.
4-wheel farm quads, and
What do you mean access? Like mates had them, or
yeah, mates, yeah, or
what
older
about
brother.
the quad?
Raptors.
What's the fastest you've ever been? Like the fastest I've been, I reckon, 30, 40 around the farm. You know, mustering cattle. What's the fastest you've ever been on a quad bike?
Well, we topped out a 700cc Yamaha Raptor at 186 along Murawai Beach.
Is that,
I reckon there was more in it.
Glenn, is that a tall story or is that true? 180 on a quad bike.
It sounds pretty. It's a 700, so it might get there actually.
700.
Yeah,
I
definitely
just showed me a
gets
photo
there.
of
I think
it.
the goal was 200.
It does
but
look fast.
We got a bit scary.
You know, you wouldn't want to hit a speed bump on the beach, would you?
No, we're a soft patch.
Yeah.
or a
yeah.
hole that someone's dug with their four-wheel drive.
So that beach is on the west coast?
West Coast.
Yeah, right. So grey sand.
Yeah, the bottom half of the beach. The beach is north of 50 kilometres long, and the first, I don't know, 20 odd kilometres, 30 kilometres is quite rich in iron, so it's a dark black
Yeah.
iron sand, and then the
And-
further north you go, it turns into really bright
Yeah.
white.
And
Silky
crystal
sand.
blue water and calm, you know, like Whitsundays. Is that what it looks like?
When you get, no, the coast is rough as guts. It's typical west coast of New Zealand.
Blowing a gale.
Blowing a gale, always a southwesterly, and yeah, massive waves,
Yeah.
huge tidal movement, and
So
but
the-
right at the top of the beach, it actually joins the Kaipara Harbour,
Yeah.
which the Kaipara Harbour has one of the largest water movements between high tide and low tide on the planet.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because you have wild west coast, and then all of a sudden you turn and go into the harbour, and that's beautiful calm, stunning.
And your ideal weekend, which you've done many times, is hook up your Pajero
Yeah,
and your little trailer and fly at the beach with your kids and
yeah.
camp on the dunes.
Camp in the
tell us
dunes.
about that.
Camp in the
your-
dunes.
Tell us about your ideal weekend camping, because you've done a lot of that, haven't you?
Yeah, we've done a lot of that over the years. Yeah, and haven't done it since pre-COVID, but or when COVID kicked in, but certainly prior to, every opportunity we could,
Yeah.
we'd pack the kids up and head up the beach, and you know they loved it as much as I did.
The kids.
The kids.
Yeah.
In fact, my twins.
Why do Kiwis talk different to all the other English people on the planet? Like, what is it about that?
In what way?
The kids.
The kids. Children?
Well,
Dependents?
no, it's the kids. Huh? Jandals. Well, that's nothing.
Jandals. Well, that's the
Yeah.
proper name for them.
Is it?
Not thongs.
Yeah, it's true. All right.
Or
What do you say?
sliders.
What do you call? How do you say tent peg? Like a tent peg.
A tent peg.
I was in New Zealand once and I called it a tent pig. A tent pig, and they said, "Have you got a spare tent pig?" Like, what? The hell are you talking about? Tent pig.
No,
No, pigs
we
in
don't
there.
have pigs for tents.
Oh, okay.
Or tents for pigs. We have a tent pig.
Anyway, so you take the kids. Like, you got twin daughters.
I have 3 girls. Yes, 3 girls. Taylor, my eldest, 24, and or 23, soon to be 24, and twin identical girls, 21.
And they're all lawyers.
No, the twins are studying to be lawyers.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they could check our content and just make sure we're not trying to get sued
Preaching
by
anything?
someone? Like offending Kiwis or, you know, like, you reckon you could ask them to just check our content for us?
Absolutely.
Are they
Yeah.
watching?
Hey?
Are they watching?
Yes, they're watching. Yep.
Cool.
Every morning I send them the link,
Yeah.
and just as a gentle reminder
Yeah.
to watch.
And do you think it's good having connection out here? Like, would you rather come out on this 1 month away from home without any internet, or were you sort of happy to hook up the Starlink?
Oh, look, my expectation was no internet, and I'd kind of warned the family and the business that I was not going to be reachable from the
Yeah.
moment I arrived in Sydney until the moment I got back to New Zealand.
Yeah.
So I had no expectation or even knowledge that having the Starlink service on board
Yeah.
when we pull up a camp each night. So I think it's absolutely amazing.
You've enjoyed talking to your wife, and
Yeah.
they're sort of sharing the experience too, aren't they? You
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
Which is cool, you know. Except sometimes you're talking to your missus and you got your headphones in, and I accidentally switched it off. And the conversation shuts off. Sorry about that. I've done that once or twice. Just apologise on my behalf. What's your wife's name again?
Sasha.
Sorry about that, Sasha. I'll cut you off a couple of times. Because I turned off when we started driving. And
Yeah, unbeknownst
I
to
thought
you.
you were just talking to yourself, you know, but then I noticed you got headphones in. So, good way to pack up talking to your missus, eh?
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah. Every opportunity.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a, hi honey, yep, I'm still alive, it's all good, I haven't been eaten by anything.
Yeah. And Uncle Richard's taking good care of us, isn't he?
Oh, look, we've had a blast with Uncle Richard on board.
Yeah.
And when Glenn shared with me that we would have someone like Uncle Richard coming along, I was like, that's fantastic. So couldn't wait to meet him and couldn't wait to hear the stories.
And what's it like in the car all day with your brother? Like, I got a couple of brothers, but we'd be sort of we'd be fighting by lunchtime, like punching each other, probably, you know, like dead set punching each other. Glenn must be. Who's the calm one out of you two?
I reckon it's me, actually.
Yeah?
He'd probably disagree, but I reckon it's me.
Glenn, what would you say?
Yeah.
Because I've learned with brothers, one needs to be the calm brother. Otherwise, you end up with fighting each other. You know what I mean?
He's undecided. His silence is
much.
golden.
Well, we're talking to you, so you can say whatever you want. So you're the calm one.
I'm the calm one.
But
yeah.
Glenn is quite calm. I've never seen Glenn angry ever, I don't think. Except when I accused him of stealing my axe. No, he didn't
I
get
did
angry.
hear that story.
You didn't get
That was a
angry
good
either.
story too.
No, I've never seen Glenn angry at all. He's a very calm man, isn't he? But I mean,
Well,
the point is, you get on pretty good. That's pretty cool, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Obviously, get on well because if he didn't like you, he wouldn't have invited you.
Yeah, correct.
So he does love
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know about love me, but he certainly enjoys me tagging along.
Yeah. Well, why wouldn't you? Because you do everything.
Well, I
I was
can't.
expecting to just go have a clean this afternoon.
Yeah, no, that's a bad chance.
You should have asked him.
Eh?
Polish.
Give him the
I
chamois.
could clean it with some spin effects.
Well, that's the big thing. People think that you get up, you know, in the middle of the night and chamois it, and
That's right.
we haven't disproven that actually yet.
It's still pretty clean.
We haven't disproven. What we should do is just
I
check
think-
for tracks during the night. we'll,
Rake them out.
we'll get a big stick with leaves and we'll smooth out the ground, you know, and then check that if he's been walking around. Chamois it.
Classic.
Yeah. Oh, we're having a good trip anyway, aren't we?
We're having an amazing trip. Yeah.
Have you ever done
no.
anything like this before, like a, you know, mate's trip?
No, I never have.
You know, out in the middle of Australia.
No, I never have. We've done, my brother and I did Fraser Island for
Yeah.
2.5 weeks back in 19.
Yeah.
18
When
or
the
19.
when the dingo ate his tent and
Where
his.
the dingo destroyed our tent, our combined tent, and his sleeping bag and pillow and blanket and
ate
everything.
your
Destroyed.
way into your tent and ate his pillow and his sleeping bag
Yes,
and didn't touch yours.
it didn't touch mine.
I don't know.
He
why
was
that
not happy.
Oh, he told me. He rang me. He wasn't happy. No. Well, why did it break it? Well, that's why he bought a rooftop tent, I think. After that.
I don't think he's keen on sleeping on the ground anymore.
No.
I call him a wimp.
Yeah.
But like he didn't even see the dingo. He didn't even see the culprit. So he has.
He probably left a ham sandwich in his sleeping bag or something. He must have. He probably had a Mars bar in there or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Wakes up in the middle of the night and has a chew on a Mars bar.
Well, it could have been the exhaust gases he trapped in his bag.
Something. Anyway. And would you reckon, would you do a trip like this again? Would you
Oh,
try
mate,
to,
I'd love to. Any
if we
opportunity.
did another trip, we'll invite you and bring a mate, or, you know, would you like to bring another mate, or would you do something like this again?
Yeah, look, a lot of my mates are not necessarily as adventurous like this as I am.
Yeah.
But there's certainly a couple I'd be keen to bring along if they were keen. And yeah, I'm keen on any.
And your girls
adventure.
grew up on the beach with that, you know, you're talking about the waves and the wind. There's massive waves, and they wouldn't have any problem being here right now.
No, not at all.
They'd love it, eh?
Not at all. They'd love it.
Well, maybe when they finish uni, you know, get them to come along, borrow. How many cars has Glenn got? He's got a lot, eh?
He's got.
He's got enough
got
cars
a few.
that you could borrow a car.
Absolutely.
He would lend it to you, wouldn't he?
He would. Yeah,
So
without question.
You could take your pick
Yeah,
and bring your mates or your girls with you.
yeah,
We should do that one time.
yeah. I reckon they'd love it. Yeah.
And,
Any opportunity to join, I'd be. Yeah, assuming
Yeah.
I could, I'd be in.
It'd be good to have a spare disco, you know, like a backup.
Yeah.
You know, like when
Yeah.
Dick Johnson was racing in the Bathurst 1000,
Yep.
and he had those little turbo cars, you know,
Yeah, the little Ford Sierra
Yeah, yeah,
RS 5000.
and then one broke down, he jumped in the other one.
That was the Sphere.
You could be like that, you know. Glenn could be like that. He could
Yeah.
have two cars, and if one breaks down, he jumps in the other one, in the, you know, whatever's in front.
Yeah, or alternatively, when he gets stuck, I can show him how to really drive a disco.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah.
so far, you haven't got stuck this trip.
No,
No stuckies.
no, no
Glenn's
stuckies.
had how many stuckies, Glenn?
Oh, just
He's had one for one, but a very close one this morning that we won't talk about.
Okay, I didn't hear about. Did you back up? You did better not.
There was no
backed up.
backing up.
Okay.
No.
But he was panicking.
But there was a panic on, and
I
there was a
would
big
say
right
that
foot
you
and a
know,
bit of a change of the
first
gear
time.
lever.
Was his voice quivering? It's like,
I know when he's panicking because he sits up straight and grabs hold of the wheel. It's like it's all on.
I've got this, and the car goes. Traction control was on.
oh.
Classic. I said, mate, almost 2 for 2.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's some big sand hills to come yet,
That's what
apparently.
happened. That's what happened.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
All right, thank you,
It
bro.
was
Well, that's
fun.
12 minutes, and yeah, good on you.
Brilliant. Thanks so much.
Thanks, mate.
Far away, but it'd be nice.
Just getting a nice afternoon, Rich, isn't it? The sun's starting to drop and
Oh, yeah.
flies getting less. And
Yeah, that's getting close, you know, so...
yeah, yeah. And you're going to put that with some gravy or some sauce, you reckon? Or
Well,
just like that?
I think Brendan's going to make a white sauce.
Ah,
What about the white sauce?
yeah, don't forget that, bro.
Make sure the car's polished first.
Well, how about this, Glennie? We've got another one under our belt, mate, haven't we? Well, we're not finished yet,
We're not finished yet.
but
We'll see when we go through 46.
yeah,
Then we'll say we've done it.
having a ball, aren't we, eh? It's been good.
It's a fantastic.
Look at that.
Nothing beats the outback.
Yeah, yeah. All right, how did it come out, mate?
Well, probably 20 years since I bloody...
It's not bad.
Did
First
one,
time
eh,
in
you know?
20 years.
So, that's how it looks like. So I won't show you the bottom.
Look at that.
But sort of...
Beautiful. And it's still warm.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the next one, because that's what with that too much heat does, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So next one we'll bloody do
That looks pretty good anyway.
a different one, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
With something a bit lighter. Yeah.
Right.
But the next one will be perfect.
Look at this.
Looks perfect to me. How is it? Try it.
That's it.
Uncle Richard's damper.
Very good.
How we going, everybody, boys?
Good, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Potatoes done. Cream sauce.
You know what I heard Richard say to himself? Because he bought the bottom of the damper. He said if the corned beef's no good, he'll go and do a boundary riding. You know what a boundary rider is? No. It's like, ask him. Yeah, it's like, you get sacked, you go boundary riding.
Ah, is that right?
White sauce.
Not quite thick enough.
Oh, it's beautiful, man.
Bush
white sauce.
Bush
Didn't
white.
really have all the
Yeah.
ingredients.
Pretty good little kitchen there, haven't you?
Yeah, it's good.
Back of the disco.
Because you can work either side. I quite like this.
Yeah.
Depending on which way the wind's blowing and
That
whether you
was-
want to be involved in the conversation or have your back to
Yeah.
it.
That was my idea,
Like
though.
that.
Wasn't it, Glenn?
Yeah.
I
Can I have one of
actually
these
did
for the
copy that.
Pajero? That'd be quite helpful, thanks.
Yeah, we'll get you one.
Yep.
Glenn's got so many of these.
He's been telling me.
He doesn't need them all.
Yeah.
I have
Apparently like 12 of them.
And
So
I
he
even
tells
know
me.
where they're in the front of his caravan.
Yeah.
So when
all wrapped in all
when
wrapped.
he
They're
would
probably still in their boxes.
if you took one, he would not even notice.
That's me. Not quite sure how I'm going to fit it on my bag to take it home.
All you got to do is drill
But I'm gonna give it
straight
a
through
whirl.
the side of the disco. Done.
Well, he's driving you to the airport. And you've got to have this big square thing in your bag. Like,
See you, bro.
Yeah.
You'll have to-
Along with the swag, the stretcher, the chair, the kiwi cushion,
pizza oven.
pizza oven, fire table.
Yeah, I said he could have my pizza oven.
charcoal.
Yeah. Look at that beautiful backdrop out there. Stunning, eh?
I thought that was just my halo.
It is. It is actually.
It is nice.
Right.
Taste test. First
There's
taste
big bit of
test.
spin effects in our camp. Hey, what's it like having these massive spin effects in our camp?
It's good. Just don't fall in it.
Yeah.
It's not very.
Hey,
friendly.
Johnny last night. Remember Johnny? He had a wobbly leg.
I think
Imagine
he
if he
had
was
two
here.
wobbly legs.
If he was here, he'd probably end up in that.
Yeah, he would.
Ah, funny bugger.
Right. Let's see about. You ready, Uncle Richard?
Yep, pretty all right, eh?
How'd it go, mate?
Yep. That's
Oh, look at that.
where?
Oh, yeah.
It's a corned beef, and that's
Perfect. Corned beef and
brilliant,
damper, eh? What a...
Yeah, they're nice in a sandwich, eh? You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
you're not going to have to go out on the you're not gonna have to go boundary riding?
No, it looks all right.
I heard you say that. Have you ever done boundary riding? Have you ever done that, boundary riding?
In what, half-cooked meat or?
No,
proper-
like actually boundary riding on a horse, you know?
Yeah, big times there.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about that tomorrow too.
Okay, yeah,
That'd
we
be
can
cool.
do
A lot of people don't know what a boundary rider is, do they?
that. Yeah. You know,
Talk
because
about that.
we can talk about that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Look at that.
you can't beat it, you know. But wait till you taste it. It's really nice. Drover's Choice, it's called.
Okay.
Bloody yeah.
Yeah, right.
Drover's Choice. So it's yours. Yep.
Right. Oh, Darren, you should see the corned beef. Oh, good fire. Yeah?
Different.
Oh,
Where's your plate? Look.
just on the end there, mate.
Oh, there, righto.
Yep.
How many feet do you want? 2?
We get it on this side.
You, Daniel.
Thank you.
Oh, mashed potato.
Oh,
It's not even my
lucky.
birthday.
Mashed pot, white sauce.
That's it.
Oh, thank you, mate.
We're under control.
Brandon,
That's it.
make your day.
Eh?
If you need
Don't
more,
say I didn't contribute.
you got another piece, or you're going to start off with
I
that?
wasn't just a
I'll
passenger.
have one more.
Okay.
Sure not. Glenn, you like this little stove, don't you?
Oh, it's good.
It's like a motorbike stove, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually out of my motorbike.
You're actually a biker, aren't you?
I am.
Really, you
More
want
than
2
a-
or 3?
A disco.
mate.
How many bikes you got?
Yeah, that we do.
More than one.
Luke, you want 2 or 3?
Oh, 3 please.
Okay.
See if you give me some of that fatty bits.
Patty pig.
Wow, that's so cool. Oh, thank you, bro. Thanks, mate. All right. Look at that, eh?
I mean, everyone will.
It's hot and cold really fast.
Well, how about that? Corned beef damper. How's it, Daddy?
Well, we will always remember today's meal.
Yeah, we're always going to remember tonight's meal. This is amazing. Right, that's a little dessert. What goes in that, Darren?
Butternut pumpkin,
Yep,
coconut milk,
yep,
palm sugar,
yep.
little bit salt.
That's it. It's very nice.
Mm.
How's the dessert, boys?
Oh, beautiful, eh?
Good, isn't it?
Decadent. Dessert in the bush.
Yeah.
You just can't top that.
Yeah, that's good. Super yummy.
Especially when it's made with a vegetable. It's a healthy dessert.
Never heard of it, eh? No?
Yeah, you wouldn't
Me
think
neither.
you wouldn't think pumpkin could taste so good, would you?
No.
We can do it with sweet potato too. The same thing.
Did you let the pumpkin kind of marinate in the coconut milk for a wee
No,
while?
just
No?
boil the coconut milk with water.
Well, I reckon we're what did you say the other night, Richard? Lucky to be alive.
Be proud to be alive.
Proud to be alive.
Oh, definitely, eh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Proud to be alive tonight.
Yeah.
Very lucky.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. We'll catch you guys in the. We should be right for a chat in the morning, Richard. Eh? With,
Should be calm, eh? You know?
yeah. It'll be cold, eh? It'll be cold, eh?
Cold, yeah.
To make sure we stock the fire up.
Yep.
All right.
She'll burn all night, so which is good, yeah.
Yeah.